Since we don't have a working data cartridge, I had to come up with my own solution, because setting up your weapons profiles and everything in your jet gets a little tedious, and a lot of those functions would be covered by a data cartridge. But since we don't have that, this will be the next best thing. I'm including this zip file here, Hornet Automation. When you download it, just unzip it to your desktop. There's essentially 4 things in here we're going to need to copy to our machine to get this working. Number 1, we need to install a free program. It's a voice command macro program called Voice Macro. If you haven't ever checked it out, go over to the Voice Macro website. You can get more information on it. The first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to copy this to our machine. So this, in the zip package right here, this Voice Macro folder, we're going to want to copy this to our program files x86 directory, which normally would reside probably under C drive. Just go to local drive C program files x86, and then you can just copy this and paste it in here. Administrative permissions. Okay, once you've done that, I would recommend opening this up and right clicking on this voice macro.exe file right here, going to properties, go under compatibility, and just make sure it's set to run as administrator, because that's going to allow it to sort of get through DCS, because this is going to be running. You're going to want this running in the background. Okay, so once that's done, another thing you might want to do is you might want to right click on it and go send to desktop create shortcut. That'll put a shortcut to it, the executable, onto your desktop for easy access. Once that's done, we're going to need to then navigate to our users folder, and we're going to want to go to the app data folder. We're going to want to go to roaming, and we're going to want to come over here to our unzipped package, and we're going to want to go into this app data roaming and take this voice macro folder right here and copy it, and you're going to want to paste it into your machine's app data roaming folder. So do that. Let's see, back out of this. Okay, now the next thing you're going to have to do is, in order for this macro program to work properly, you're going to have to copy my keybinds for my Hornet. And you know, there's nothing crazy. It's not going to change all your DCS controls or anything like that for all your modules. It's just this one specifically for the Hornet. You're going to need to go to your users folder. You're going to want to go to your save games folder, DCS, config, input, F18 Hornet, this keyboard folder right here. You're going to want to copy this one from the package you downloaded. You're going to want to paste it in here, and you're going to want to overwrite the key bindings. Then you're going to have to go to your, last thing we have to do is go to our Eagle Dynamics folder, DCS World. We want to go to mods. We want to go to aircraft. We want to go to F-18C. We want to go to cockpit, scripts. Then you want to go to the folder called TEWS devices, and you want to take this CMDS underscore ALE 45 Lua file, and you're going to want to copy this into here. Now that I've got that all sorted, that should be everything we need to go. we created a shortcut to the desktop right here. When you open the shortcut, you should hear a voice say that the default FA18 profile is loaded. So let's see what happens.
DCS, FA18 profile loaded.
Okay, so this is the program voice macro, and it's now set up the way you need it set up. You can use this for voice commands and stuff like that, but we're not going to get into all that. I'm just using it for the hotkey functionality to be able to trigger a macro script off a hotkey. This should be good to go. So you can minimize it. You just leave it on your desktop, do whatever you want. It'll be running down here in the system tray. Regardless, I think if you close it, it's still running over here in the system tray. Let's now start up our DCS and see what happens. There's one caveat. When a new DCS update comes out, you're going to have to reinstall the CMDS ALE47 file, because when DCS updates, it's going to overwrite that file every time your countermeasures program is going to change back to like some default program. So CMDS underscore ALE47 file from the install package back into the proper directory. And like I said, I've got instructions in the README file, and I'm going to show you first in a hotjet. Now I'm going to press Alt Q.
Configuration in progress.
And what this is going to do is this is going to set up all my weapons profiles. It's going to set up my radar. It's going to set up my track file timeouts. It's going to set up my mids on my head-mounted display. It's going to turn on my data link. It's going to turn on my IFF for me. It's going to set my bingo fuel state. It's also going to turn on my RWR, and it's going to set up my countermeasures. When this is going on, don't touch anything. Just let it go.
Data load completed.
As soon as you hear data load complete, that's it. There's a couple things here that you really can't automate. If you want to be able to use this for both hot start and cold start, I'll go over here, go to my HMD, go to align, and that's it. We're ready to roll. Okay, I'm gonna hold short. Okay, so what you'll notice is that I'm set up for a 6-bar scan on my sidewinders, 20 degree azimuth, 20 mile. This can actually be customized if you edit the script file itself. The timeout, track file timeout's set to 32. I can go to my AMRAMs. AMRAM set up for small, radar cross section small. I like to keep mine initially on an 80-mile scan. Here we've got our AIM 7s, set for small, set for loft, 40-mile. You go to Twiz, it's all set up. Bingo fuel state was set to 4,500 pounds. You can change that if you want. Data link's on, IFF's on. I mean, obviously if you need to change these for whatever mission or server you're flying on, you can do that, but you know, this saves you a whole lot of trouble, and it just makes flying the jet so much more enjoyable. Alright, so cold start, how this is going to work. Come over here, flick on your battery, come over here, flick on your APU. You want to turn on your oxygen. Okay, crank the right engine. Wait for your tack to get up there. Take your right throttle out of idle detent. Wait for that to fire up. While that's firing up, you can turn on your DDIs. You can turn on your HUD. You can turn on your color multipurpose display. I like to uncage my artificial horizon. So crank the left engine. Okay, take that out of idle detent. While that's happening, we can just radar here, and we can start an INS alignment. Get that joystick out of the way. Wait for the INS alignment to start. Oh, I'm sorry, ground. Okay, that started. Go switch it to stored heading. This starts in the off position, so you're going to want to put it to receive. Once that pops up, I like to take that off there. I'll keep these flaps in medium. Alright, so you got the engine started. We got the INS aligning. And we've got our displays turned on. That's all you need to do. You don't need to touch the HMD. You don't need to touch the dispenser switch. You don't need to touch anything. Just get these three displays on. You can set this to receive, and you can do your INS alignment. And then the script is going to take care of everything else. Okay, that's done. Set this to IFA and hit Alt Q.
Configuration in progress.
And like I said, if there's anybody wants to tinker, you can go and you can edit the script file yourself. But the
Data load completed.
okay, so data load complete, and we're pretty much good to go. Head mounted display. So you don't want to do that. Come to here, align. Do your alignment. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Okay, fine tune it. However, set the roll. Good enough for government work. Turn it off. Tell your ground crew what you want. Just to top it off here. Yeah, that looks good.
Refueling. Request rearming.
Copy.
That's pretty much it.
Refueling complete. Rearming complete.
Okay.
Cavalletti. 1-1. Request taxi to runway. 1-1. Cavalletti. Clear to taxi to runway 25.
What do you... Oh, canopy. We're working on that. On the seat. I hope that really helps people, because I know doing that stuff, it just kind of takes the fun out of flying after a while. Once again, this isn't like a auto start or anything like that. Pretty much all these functions would be handled by a data cartridge in real life. So until we get a functional data cartridge, this is the next best thing. This could be adapted to other airplanes. I'm assuming you could do the same thing with voice attack. Probably, to the best of my knowledge, it supports hotkey triggered macros. So as long as it does that, it should be to be able to develop scripts for that, and for whatever jet, with A10, whatever you want to do. If you find this helpful, I'm gonna put a link. If you want to donate to me, that's always appreciated.